What's up everyone, it's your girl Shay here and welcome to my channel if you are new, and welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. And as you can see by the title of today's video, I'm going to be talking about some more of the Sony buying Crunchyroll situation, because many of us haven't heard a lot about the situation, and I actually recently just found out some news about it. I know I talked about this I think back in December or January about how Sony has now bought Crunchyroll, and Crunchyroll is now under Sony along with Funimation as well as Aniplex. Well, in the most recent months, there's been an update, and it's an update that's not exactly for the better. So the update is that the US Justice Department has decided to put an investigation out on Sony to see if them buying Crunchyroll is considered a monopoly. Basically what they mean about this is that they think that with Sony buying Crunchyroll, it's kind of not putting a lot of competition on the market for Japanese companies. If they want to distribute their anime out to the West, they're unable to go to a lot of different companies to be able to shop around and decide which one is best for them to decide to distribute or to stream their product. So at this point, they're thinking that at this point, Japanese companies only have no choice but to go with Sony, since they own both, pretty much the two heavy hitters, which are Funimation as well as Crunchyroll. And honestly, while doing investigation or while looking up some resources or more information about this topic, I honestly didn't know that Sony had also bought Aniplex, which I remember Aniplex as well. I'm sure many of you guys do as well. So I think Sony, what they decide to say about the matter is that they feel that it is not considered a monopoly with them buying Crunchyroll, only because of the fact they also you also have Amazon Prime Video, which is also in the anime game. You also have Hulu, and of course you also have Netflix. And they feel like having those three companies who also stream anime, that they're pretty much considered a competition for Sony in this case. So honestly, the investigation is supposed to take about 6 months, and then after 6 months, we will hear whether or not the U.S. Justice Department is going to pretty much approve of this buyout, or they're going to approve of this, or whether they're going to decide that this should not happen because they feel like that there isn't enough competition. So here are my thoughts about this. And honestly, here's like a few things that I've heard whispers, I think, among the community about that, how they've overall have felt about Sony buying Crunchyroll. So one of the things that I've heard is that some people are afraid with Sony buying Crunchyroll, that's going to cause where a lot of the anime that we know and love, or a lot of the anime that's a little bit more adult, will become heavily censored, or will be trying to make it more family friendly. And that is one thing that a lot of people are afraid of. Now, I'm personally not afraid of this happening too much, and the only reason why I'm not afraid of this happening is because Funimation does still have a lot of anime, or is still coming out with anime that is a little bit more on a little bit on the adult side, a little bit more on the racy side. Like, I haven't seen a diminish in ecchi anime in any way. A lot of people are afraid of localization, which I've talked about this before. Localization is going to happen all the time with any product. And that's just me personally. I don't think this is heavily going to happen. It might, but I think it just depends on what shows are going to come out here. And a lot of things have to be realized, that some things that are okay in Japan, they're not okay over here. And depending on how they're planning to distribute it, whether it's going to be distributed on TV as well, some changes are going to have to happen. But that's just my own 2 cents about that particular thing overall. Also, how I feel about it is that if this is considered a monopoly, then what about Disney or all these other companies that have bought so many other companies as well, and now they're all under that one umbrella? I know that one thing, though, that I did have to think about is that Disney, in their case, what they do, there is still a lot of competition out there. It's not, you have Universal, you have Paramount, you have so many other companies as well. So I know people are actually going to be going for Disney, because a lot of times people feel like Disney is a monopoly because they own so many different smaller companies. But I did have to think about the fact that the industry that Disney is in is a lot bigger compared to the anime industry, especially here in the US. The anime industry here in the US is fairly small. It's still kind of a niche little genre that not a lot of companies have decided to divulge a lot of money in. But I will say, to Sony's point, Netflix has become kind of a heavy hitter when it comes to anime. I know they've come out with a lot of Netflix originals for anime, and I know that they do put a lot more anime now on their streaming service. So that could be considered one, as well as Prime Video. I know that there was a period of time where a lot of people were trying to watch particular anime, but Prime Video had like scooped them up, and that was the only place that you could watch them. And I know that for me is the only thing that I feel like Sony would have going for it, and the reason why I feel like the US Justice Department might actually side with Sony and decide that this buyout or buying of Crunchyroll can take place. Now, I know some people were also afraid of this happening as well, with them buying it. Another reason was that they were afraid that this was going to cut down on competition, but I don't think it will, just because of the fact I feel like, you know, there is still going to be some competition when it comes to anime. I don't feel like the competition is going to completely disappear. And what people meant by competition is that they felt like with having so many different services, it was actually causing some of the companies to have to up their game in order to earn subscriptions from people, like updating their players, updating their websites, updating like trying to put out as many anime as possible to make it so that they were the best bang for your buck. So there's that. But I feel like there's still going to be a lot of companies out there. You know, you still have High Dive, you still have like Netflix, you still have Prime Video, you still have Hulu, you still have Viz, although I do know that Viz is currently, as of right now, in a partnership with Funimation. And I do know that High Dive currently is in a partnership with Crunchyroll because of VRV, which we still don't know how much longer, what's going to happen with that once this buyout, if it happens, ends up taking place. Now, the only thing, I know that there was one thing that I had talked about before, was that with this not happening, or if this doesn't happen, I know that a lot of people, I know myself included, I felt that if this happened, it would make it where a majority of anime was definitely in one place. So, because a lot of people used to complain about the fact that when you're trying to like legally watch anime, it can be difficult because there are so many streaming services, and you feel like you have to pay for all of them to get all the anime that you want to watch. And even then, there's still a plethora of anime out there that just is not available on these streaming services, which has led a lot of people to still decide to illegally download or to illegally stream. And to that, I have to say, like, for the people that are like, hey, keep it separate because they want the competition, I also have to say, but you also have some people also complaining and saying when you keep it separate, it's caused a lot of people to still go the illegal route, because their point is that I want to go somewhere where I can watch all the anime that I want to watch and not have to worry about having to choose which streaming service I want to put my money into, because of the fact that there are so many. But you know, to another point, which I feel like at this point there's so many different points in this video, is that there is always going to be different services that are going to offer different things. I mean, look at the movies. I mean, for example, you have HBO, you have Showtime. I know that there was a few, Cinemax. You had so many other streaming like video networks that when you were paying for cable, you had to kind of choose which one you wanted to pay for, because they all offered different movies available. So I feel like that is always going to happen. But overall, what I think is going to end up happening, I think the US Justice Department is probably going to allow this to happen. I can't see them not letting it happen, only because of the fact that Netflix is also involved in this as well. And Netflix is turning out to be a bigger and bigger, you know, anime competitor, because they are coming out with and producing their own anime series as well. So, you know, who knows what's going to happen. Like I said, it is going to take about 6 months for them to complete this investigation to find out whether or not this is going to be considered a monopoly. I'll be shocked if they consider it to be a monopoly, but I'll probably try and keep up with this to see what ends up happening in the next 6 months. But overall, what do you guys think? What do you guys overall think of Sony buying Crunchyroll? For me personally, I still don't think of it as being a big deal. I'm actually kind of excited for it, me personally. I know that people have different reasons for why they don't want this to happen. Some people don't like Crunchyroll, some people don't like Funimation, some people don't like so many different of these anime companies that they don't want to support them, which I get, I understand if you feel that way. But me personally, I don't have an issue with it. Do you think the US Justice Department is going to side with Sony on this one and decide that it is not a monopoly and allow it to happen? What do you think overall about monopolies overall? I don't know a whole lot about them. All I know is it's when one company controls the entire market and there's no room for competition. That's the most I know about monopolies, to be completely honest with you. And also, what do you think is going to happen with Sony buying Crunchyroll? Do you think it is going to cause where there is going to be not a lot of competition? Or do you think that it will make it easier for anime fans to find a lot of anime in one place and not actually have to feel like they have to, search around to find the anime that they actually want to watch? So yeah, comment below your thoughts. Let me know what you guys think about this overall. I apologize if I don't have all the biggest information about this. I did search around for a little bit more information regarding what's going to happen next. I did search around for some people's opinions on this, but I just kind of remember some stuff that I had saw on Twitter and a lot of things that I've heard other anime fans say. So yeah, what are your thoughts about it? Comment below what you think about it. And yeah, I'll come out with a new video about this topic probably in 6 months, if not longer, because I actually had even forgot that this update had even happened. And this update happened like end of March, so about like a week or 2 weeks ago. So yeah, that's what I have for you guys today. I will have links below to all my social media accounts. I have an Instagram, a Twitter, a blog, as well as a TikTok. On my TikTok and on my Instagram for Reels, I decided to start doing little anime reviews, manga reviews that are about 30 seconds to a minute long. I've also started to come out with other content as well as on Reels and TikTok, like little small recommendations. So yeah, feel free to check those out and follow me if you haven't already. Of course, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, give it a thumbs down. And of course, please subscribe if you haven't already, because if you're still watching my videos and you haven't subscribed yet, please just subscribe, especially if you are enjoying it. I would really appreciate it. But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. Like I always tell you guys, stay positive, stay nerdy, and in today's day and age, stay healthy, and of course, please stay safe. All right, you guys, bye.